Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Ellsworth. What we're going to be talking about today is expressions. Using words to make expressions and expressions. So expression and equations are two different things. Equations have an equal sign in them and expressions do not. So some of the expressions are made out of just numbers and some are made out of numbers and letters like 2y plus 3x. Okay? So let's look at this here for a second. A numerical expression, and what I'd like you to do right now is I'd like you to make a page in your notebook right now about just vocabulary. So get a clean sheet of paper in your notebook and keep it in there so that you don't lose it. And we want to add numerical expressions to it, which is a combination of numbers and operations. And the operations could be like adding and subtracting or multiplying or dividing. Okay. Do you know that multiplying can also be expressed with a dot? How about division can be expressed by a backslash? Okay. So let's go ahead and go over some examples of how we could go and change this sentence or part of a sentence, this fragment, into a numerical expression. It says the sum, and sum to me means add. The sum of 9 and 12. So we're going to add 9 plus 12. And we do not do anything more in this section of our homework than just write out what the expression is. So again, that is an expression. Okay, the difference. Difference means what? I hope you're saying inside your head that it means subtracting. The difference of 15 and 10, and you do it in the same exact order that's written down. 15 minus 10. And we don't even have to calculate that that's 5. Okay, this is our answer. It's an expression. Okay. I think in your homework it tells you to find the expression. Or maybe it says find the numerical expression. Okay, the cost of each of the 10 yo-yos is $3. So we're going to take 3 times 10. And I don't know if that means $3 times 10. You could go and put that in there if you want to, but I think that they just want the numbers for this. I myself am always worried about having the right answers. So if I was asked to evaluate or simplify this, that I would want to remind myself to have dollars. So that's why I do that, but they want just the numbers and the operations when it is an expression. Okay, the number of students in each group of 15 students are divided into 5 equal groups. So what they're really saying here is you got 15 groups and we're going to divide them into 5 equal groups. 15 students divided into 5 equal groups, and that's our expression. So if I was going to try and anticipate any type of question that my students would have right now, it would be, do we have to solve that? Well, solving is for equations, but that's just math talk there. But do you have to simplify this? Not unless they ask you to. In this assignment, they're asking you to write out the numerical expression, so it's everything that I circled here would be what your answer is. Now, later on in the assignment, they ask you to do the order of operations, and then you would go and simplify that or evaluate it. Okay, you notice I've been saying evaluate and simplify. Okay, they are really the same thing. Now that's just me trying to oversimplify what the whole thing is, but evaluate or evaluation, I wish I would have changed this just to evaluate. Anyway, evaluate, okay, evaluate means to go and change this into just a numerical value. So that means you're simplifying it down to one number. Oopsie. You're just simplifying it down to one number. So if it says 15 divided by 5, you're going to just go and change that into 3. You're going to evaluate it at 3. Okay, simplify. Write an expression in a simpler form. Guess what this is? Now, Minnesota Standards likes the word simplify. And your other two math teachers here in the high school like the word simplify rather than evaluate. We usually think of evaluate as being if 3x plus 2, then evaluate it where x equals 2. Okay, so you go and take 3 times 2 and add it to 2. And that's usually evaluate. That's what Minnesota does. So for our purposes, evaluate and simplify are identical. Okay? So we're going to so whenever it tells you to evaluate or to simplify, you're going to go and answer the question. You're going to get it down to one numerical form. Now, order of operations, that's one that lots of people like. I love order of operations. It is telling me to go and follow a set of rules for evaluating or simplifying an expression. And it is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, and maybe you don't need to hear this, but first of all, you do parentheses first. Okay, if you have an exponent, then you have to do that second. Third and fourth thing that you do is multiplying and dividing. Okay, and if you only have multiplying and dividing left, then you go left to right. That's important. Okay, and then the next one is addition and subtraction. So if you have only addition and subtraction left at the end, then you go left to right also. Okay, so this is not in perfect order like that, and we'll catch students because of that. So we have to watch out for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and evaluate these expressions. Again, our book says evaluate the expression, and in the Minnesota Standards on a Minnesota test, they might tell you simplify the expression. Okay, so please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I have to do multiplication first. So I'm going to do this part first. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite 20 minus, and that was 3 times 5. That'd be 15. Okay, and I want you to write equivalent expressions. So you keep on going down as long as it takes to find this. And Ms. Legou and I are going to check for that tomorrow to make sure that you are writing an equivalent expression. So you need to give yourself room for each one of your assignment problems. So I need to simplify this further, and I'm going to evaluate it or simplify it, and this is the answer to this is 5. Okay, and then B. Okay, I have to do parentheses first. So I'm going to follow along what's inside the parentheses first. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So I'm going to do 4, and this means times when you got parentheses, and 10 minus 7 is going to be 3, plus 2 times 3. Okay, here we go again. I'm going to multiply next. This is separated with this plus sign, so that means that I need to do my 2 multiplication pieces first. You can do one on one line and the other on the other line, or else you can combine, do them both now because it's separated with that plus sign, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the 4 times 3, which is 12. Bring that plus sign down again, don't forget that. And then I'm going to do the 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay, and then 12 plus 6 is 18. Okay, so that's examples of using the order of operations. So here are some pages in your book right now, the 2 pages that your homework will be on. Okay, so let me go ahead and let's go and do a couple of these. Okay, I'm going to do 16 and 17 in your homework. Okay, the total money earned if Lee sold 4 scarves at $20. Okay, so each scarf is $20, but there's 4 scarves that she's doing. So it's going to be 4 times 20. That's it. And these ones, they just want you to write the numerical expression. You don't have to simplify or evaluate it. The number of people left to play if 10 of the 15 played. Okay, so what we're doing is we're finding the difference here. Okay, so usually when you find the difference, it's the largest minus the smaller, but don't always think of it that way because you don't have negative numbers of peoples here, right? That was goofy how I said that. But you got 15 minus the 10 people. And you know then how many people you have left, the number of people left. So that one did not go in the same order as the problem. I had to make it make sense. Of course, I had to reread it so I could. Okay, let's look at our next problem. Oh, let me move the screen here. Okay, so let's go and look at this nice one right here, number 19. Now, number 19, people would want to just go and do 18 minus 4 and then times it by 2, but that's wrong because it's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally or PEMDAS. Okay, and we know we have to do the multiplying first. So I'm going to write 19 up here. We've got 18 minus 4 times 2. It's kind of funny because I'll see people go and post ones like this online and adults will get them wrong because they forget that they still got to do the multiplication first. Okay, so I'm just going to do that part right there. So I've got 18 minus 8, and then that's nice. That's going to be 10, isn't it? Notice how I wrote my equivalent expressions on top of each other. Ms. Legoux and I again are going to really check on that tomorrow. Okay, so there's number 19. Okay, let's try a harder one. Let's try, ooh, look at that one. Ooh, look at that one. Oh, goodness, I better save one of those for you guys. Let's do number 24. Okay, so we've got 8, and it's in these pieces, these brackets here, they're inclusion brackets. Okay, and then we've got a parenthesis, 12 minus 5, okay, plus 4. Okay, so we got to do parentheses first. These are also parentheses, so we're going to have to do parentheses within the parentheses before you do the outer parentheses. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to do this one. So 12 minus 5 is 7. Plus that 4. Notice how I keep on writing everything down that I didn't even disturb in the problem. Okay, now I still got to do these. These are inside of the inclusion part. So I'm going to, hold on, I got students in here. I'm back. Anyway, so this is 11 inside of those brackets. I could change those parentheses right now, couldn't I? Times 8. Great. So that's going to equal 88. Nice. That was number 24. Okay, and I'll do one more. Let's do one of these. Ooh, let's do 29. Okay, so 29, we've got 16 minus 8 all over 15 minus 11. Okay, so you're supposed to do division before addition or subtraction, but these are really like when they're separated in a fraction like this, these are really like that they're in parentheses. So you have to identify that those are like they have parentheses. You need to do the numerator first, then the denominator. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I better write down 29. Okay, so let's do this. So we've got 16 minus 8, and that's going to be 8. Okay, and that's over 15 minus 11, which is, oh, bummer. Keep listening. Which is 4. Okay, now we do our division,
Haley Olsen,
which equals 2. Okay, so that's our answer with all those interruptions, but we got it. Okay, and I'll show you what your assignment is tomorrow when you come here. So I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.